Have you ever experienced infidelity? And if the answer is yes, would you be willing to talk about it on camera? Well, here's someone who's hoping to find couples who'll do just that in the name of art, photographic artist Natasha Caruana. Hi, Natasha. What is it exactly that you're looking for?
Well, I'm looking for couples that have, in the course of their relationship, they have experienced a form of infidelity. And, that could obviously take a place as multiple different versions of. But importantly, in that couple's eyes, they've experienced infidelity, but they've managed to work through it and they've stayed together. And I'm looking for a range of couples to make a short film where we actually, sit on the sofa and we discuss what happened and how they managed to overcome it.
Now, you said yourself that infidelity takes many different forms. Which forms are you hoping to encompass as part of this project?
Well, it was interesting. I was actually just doing a Periscope asking people, what constitutes infidelity in your eyes? Because, of course, it's different for me and different for everybody. But some really interesting things came up. Like somebody talked about, is using a sex toy by yourself a form of infidelity? Or it could be an open relationship. Possibly you find out your partner's watching porn and you might see that as a form of infidelity. It could be a drunken kiss from years ago. We're still very interested in maybe an historic form of infidelity that you've managed to overcome in the past. Or it could be a full-blown emotional affair. Actually, you've had a mistress or you've had another man on the side.
And what's the idea of the work? I mean, is it just because you like peering into other people's lives, or is there some higher purpose?
The form of this commission, there is a higher purpose because the work is actually being commissioned by Alan de Botton and the School of Life. And I don't know whether you know the School of Life, but it is it's a global organisation, I suppose you could say. And it actually deals with how we can live our life by developing our emotional intelligence. So the School of Life teaches you those things that, maybe kind of get lost. We don't get taught at school, like how to love, how to work, how to travel, how to deal with jealousy. And they have an amazing YouTube, which is called School of Life TV. And the film will actually be part of that collection of School of Life TV, talking about this idea of, how to overcome infidelity is something that isn't actually discussed very often. That's why I'm finding it so hard to find couples that are willing to talk on camera.
You see, this would be my next question, because I would presume that if you wanted to find individuals who had discovered infidelity and then chucked the person out full of anger and need for revenge, then they may be happy to talk. But by definition, couples who've managed to get over it, they've worked it out between the two of them intimately, and probably if they were to crack that shield that they built around their relationship to allow the light in that you want to put there, well, they're putting their relationship at risk. That's why they don't want to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I do completely understand that, of course. There is a really interesting time now. We are living the world. You can peer into someone else's life very easily through webcam, through Periscope, through Twitter. And actually, is there a point where we could use art, use the YouTube to actually create empathy? So another couple that's going through that could act at that experience where a couple has overcome it, and that could help their fellow human being. That could give somebody else that kind of white flag of thinking there is another way that we can work through this without chucking everything out the window. And like we just heard earlier in your program, leave houses and having divorces. Is there a way that we can use people's experiences, those brave couples that must be out there, that are happy to come on camera, share their experience in order to help other couples that aren't so strong?
It's clearly something you're very passionate about. It's something close to your heart. Is it something that you yourself have been through, something you've experienced?
Yeah, I suppose I am very passionate about relationships, and I'm passionate about infidelity and talking about one of these mysteries and the magic of love that it's still just a complete mystery out there, and a lot of my work is around it. And I think for me, I've only had one kind of version of cheating, which happened where I was 18. And, when you're 18, you don't understand, you're out and you don't have that same sort of commitment to your relationships. And I actually found out that one of my boyfriends, when he was in Amsterdam, he'd paid somebody for a blowjob. And I just thought, oh, my goodness. And we did stay together.
Natasha, I'm going to have to apologise because you said that, because it's quite early on, 10 to 8.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
If you could just make sure that you're very careful about the words that you choose to describe what we're talking about, that would be great.
There will be no other words like that. I'm very sorry.
I must ask you one more question. Previous to this project, you went out and dated 54 married men in 9 months. What was the purpose of that?
Well, I was really interested in the work is actually very grounded in this idea of philosophy.